Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now I've been away for about a year, and originally when I revived this channel it was with Feed the Beast Skies Expert Mode. Now we're playing Feed the Beast Skies 2, so let's just hop right into it. So I started off on this Geode Island, so I had the option to start off on a basic Skyblock Island. I also had a few other options, but I felt like this one was the best middle ground. There wasn't like any buildings on it or anything, just a little small starting area here, as well as a bit of geode clusters basically, right? You're just in a giant geode. And we have a bit of water to start off. And as with any good skyblock, it always starts with punching down a few trees. So what's interesting about this pack is normally you can just grow a tree by doing this, by shifting or by running around the tree and saying, hey, tree, grow for me. However, in this pack, you actually have to make yourself a hoe. So, we're just going to get 2 of those. We'll get ourselves a fire stick as well, because we're going to need those in a bit as well. Give myself some hoes, and we can grow a tree. Now, you don't need, obviously, both. You don't need one in your offhand, one in your other hand, so let's get rid of that. But yeah, you can just go with your offhand like this, and then just break down the trees. It's very simple, and it just requires it to not be a free tree growth, which is, I think it's interesting. It's a different way to do it that I haven't personally seen before, but yeah, very easy. And then those fire sticks we got, we're just going to burn some wood. Just going to set it on fire and make ourselves a shovel. This is so we can get some ash to make some torches. And with torches, what we can do here, there we go. So all we need is the piece of ash. And then with ashes, we can make ourselves a campfire. And a campfire is pretty much the gateway to this pack. Now there is a campfire right there, but it's not lit. And we don't have a way to light it at the moment, so we'll have to go the old school way of making a campfire. Or not the old school way, but making an actual campfire that's pre-lit. So that's also a quest. And speaking of quests, there is a pretty extensive quest book with every single mod having its own little tab over here. And let me tell you, there's a lot of mods in this pack. I believe there's 444. So it's quite the hefty pack. A lot of those are optional or necessity mods. They're not like full-on 444 mods, but still, it's quite the large pack. However, to start off, we do need to get ourselves some bone meal normally, to get some string. However, we're lucky enough to start off with some hemp over there, but I will do this just for the quest itself. That is pressure plates, not slabs. Okay, so I'll get myself a composting barrel. If I make some wooden shears, I can get myself some compostable material. There we go. So this will give us bone meal. And what you do with this, you bone meal some grass. Now, what I did realize is all of the grass here is actually fake. However, we can turn it back into dirt, potentially. Yeah, it just turns into dirt normally. But yeah, it's all fake grass, as you see there. So you can actually bone meal it, which is very interesting. However, if I do want some real grass, there's also a quest book for that. And all you have to do here is simply jump into the void. And I'm not joking. So if I jump over here and go on for a little adventure, look at my little geode. It's actually really nice. There's a lot of building space, and it is one of my favorite blocks in the game. We got ourselves a Grains of Infinity. Oh, I'm going to die. Oh wow, 2 HP. I was trying to land in the water. But yeah, so now that we have this, what we can do is if we grab ourselves a piece of dirt, say from right here, and we toss the dirt and the thing into the water, it should make ourselves a grass seed. There we go. And with said grass seed, we can actually make a real patch of grass. Now, what I want to do is I just want to tear up the dirt here and let this real grass actually spread. Just in one little area. I don't mind the fake grass having topiary grass all over the base. Not a big deal. Okay, we are getting way more dirt than normal though. Because right, we're mining 16 blocks. I have 59. Okay, maybe not. Where did I get all the dirt from then? Okay, we got a lot of dirt from somewhere. Because I definitely did not have that much to start. Nonetheless, our grass here will grow, and you can bone meal it to get hemp. Luckily, like I said, we already have hemp, so we don't need to worry about that. However, I do want to get myself bone meal. Alright, we got ourselves a decent amount of hemp. I'll plant some more seeds down, and we can make ourselves a bunch of string. Now, the string itself is used to make ourselves some strainers. And the strainers are how you first get your first cobblestone, because in normal packs, or at least a common amount of skyblock packs nowadays, you come over to the grass and you shift right click it. However, that is no longer a thing in this pack. We have to make ourselves an oak strainer. And these are pretty simple. It's just some cloth mesh and some string. I do, however, need some more sticks. Actually, yeah, we do need more sticks. And with our strainer here, we can just come place in the water, and then slowly but surely, this guy will start collecting stone pebbles. So I'm just going to make a few of those. How many can we make? Well, we can make one more with the amount of string we have right now. So I'll just place another one down, and we'll start collecting pebbles. And now we can make our first piece of cobblestone, and we've entered the Stone Age. Ta-da! Very simple. A really cool way to start the early game, I guess. First, we're jumping off the island to collect Grains of Divinity, and a new way to collect stone, a new way to get string that's not just silkworms. Really cool, very interesting way to start the pack. I really enjoy it. Now, what's interesting about this pack is there's actually 3 ways to get ore collection. There's mystical agriculture and bees and whatnot. There's the old way, and there is clusters of creation. Now, this is the path I want to take for the beginning. Now, we might have create sifters in the path and later down the line, as well as bees and essence. The way you start with the essence path is really cool. You do fishing. For this, I don't really want to do any mining or sifting. That's very basic Skylock. But what I want to do is I want to do the magic path, which is Path of Crystalmancy, because I personally just love magic mods. So, first of all, what we need is a Void Crystal Catalyst, and that requires a Grain of Infinity and a Cobblestone, which means it's Cowabunga time. Nice. So, if I craft these two together, I will get myself a Void Crystal block, and hopefully I can make it back to my island in time. Nice. And we're going to land in the water. Perfect. For the first thing we want is we're going to place it down, and if we dye it white... Oh, bone meal. So if we dye it white, we now have a budding iron geode. And this will slowly produce budding irons, similar to the crystals, and I think it just really fits on this island. Right, so we have budding iron, we have budding crystals right here. Actually, I don't think any of these are budding, unfortunately. But I really like the idea of doing geodes on the geode map. I think it just fits really cool. Wasn't actually planned, but it just works. Then we have the budding iron geode, and I went ahead and marked all the other dyes we're going to need to make the rest of them. So orange dye makes... Will it show it in here? Doesn't show it in here. But yeah, with orange dye we get copper, and then so on and so forth. So I want to get myself another piece of cobblestone, and if I make another, I can actually get myself 2 of these. And you do want them 2 apart because the iron will grow there. So yeah, we're gonna have a few of these just sporadically around the base. You might think this is the slowest method, and you'd be right in thinking that. This is definitely the slowest method to growing these guys, and I believe I should be able to pick this up with a pickaxe. Let me just make some sticks. Okay, so you cannot collect these with pickaxes. Fun fact. So I'm just going to hop off the edge, get myself some more Grains of Infinity, and then we'll be back once I have, I guess, a few ores set up. Bye! So I've gone ahead and spaced these guys out just a little bit. Not too bad, but yeah, it's a little messy and a little wonky, but it is kind of how you have to space them out. Each one needs to be able to grow out the crystal on each side, right? So we're going to remove the dirt blocks and dye them up. So we're just going to come over here, get ourselves some iron geodes for sure. Get ourselves some copper geodes as well. This makes us some lead geode. That'll make us a lapis. That'll make us a redstone. And we'll get 2 gold geodes. And for now, I think that'll be fine. Obviously, we'll expand this to many more geodes in the future. But for now, we have a bit of resource generation. And these guys will take a long time to grow. Obviously, it's the slowest of the 3 methods, but I think it's fun, and I like the geodes. They're really fun. And if we have Ars Magica in this mod, which I believe we do, or Ars Nouveau, sorry, yeah, we can get some golems to harvest these for us. So we can have a whole production going with AE2 and golems, or there's many different ways to do it. I think ours will probably be the way we begin with it, and we can have a budding farm going 24/7 getting collected with golems, which I think will be really, really fun to do. So I'll just throw those dyes in there, the ones we didn't use, and we have plenty of void crystals to make farms like in the actual spot later on. But for now, we'll let those grow, and we'll continue with the beginning early game. So I want to go ahead and get a few more resources going, and one of those is actually clay, so we can make some bonsai pots. If I use a dripper here, and slowly fill up this dripper with it, slowly but surely this block will turn into clay. I'm going to turn on particles. Okay, so it specifically has to be dirt, so I'm just going to replace that with whatever, we'll just leave it for now. But yeah, slowly but surely the water here will drip out, and we can just keep filling it up with water, and then we get clay. And yeah, you just repeat the process over and over. Now you can set up multiple drippers and you can probably automatically fill them, but for now, all we need is a bit of clay to make some bonsai pots. And with some stone, we can go ahead and make ourselves the furnace that we wanted. That's why we made the fire, or the campfire earlier. And I can go ahead and cook that up. Make myself some charcoal for it first. So with this, I actually want to go ahead and grow myself some mangrove wood. Now, I don't know if these automatically deposit. I do need myself some dirt as well. Oh, insert a tool to harvest. Okay, so they're not letting you get away with anything in this pack. You actually need... Interesting. Can I decorate the pot? Oh, that's cool. Okay, I really like that. That's a new way to do bonsais. And it doesn't automatically deposit, unfortunately. You can enchant the pot to improve its performance, which is really cool. I guess you can use Fortune or Silk Touch to get like leaves specifically. But yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, I do want some mangrove just because I think it's the coolest tree at the moment. And one more thing I realized, once you select the quest, you actually get different rewards. So for selecting the old ways, which using the sifter, you get yourself a bit of create powers. You get a windmill bearing and some windmill sails, so you can start getting some power going. For the fishing, you get yourselves a really good fishing rod with some harvesting pylons, which is actually also really good. For us, however, we get a bit of applied energistics and a Fortune 3 pickaxe. With this guy, we can actually get ourselves started on growing all these crystals. So I'm going to come over here, but I'm just going to place the crystal resonance generator down and throw the accelerator down, and then this should get us some iron buds growing really fast. And I'll just let the other ones grow naturally, but iron is obviously the biggest one currently for us. And for the buds, once they fully grow, like this one here, the cluster, all you have to do is right click it with a pickaxe. If you right click it with your hand like so, you get 2. If you right click it with a normal pickaxe, you should get 4. So we got 4 that time, we had 2, now we have 6. And if we right click it with a fortune pickaxe, once another one grows, right here, we got ourselves 22. So they give you this Fortune 3 Unbreaking 4 pickaxe, and yeah, you have a very fast way to collect ores. So I will move the growth accelerator around as we need it, as we see fit. But for now, the biggest one is obviously iron, so I'm going to collect myself some iron. In just a few minutes, we already got ourselves almost 2.5 or over 2.5 stacks of iron. And so I made some more charcoal, I'm just going to throw those in, and we already have some more growing over there. So I want to go ahead and get some more cobblestone. And now, sure, we could wait here and make a bunch more water strainers to get a bunch of more stone pebbles, but that's going to take forever. So what I want to do is I want to make myself a cobblestone generator. Now, normally you would just throw some cobblestone in a crucible, put a torch under it, and say, voila, I have cobblestone, or I have lava. In this pack, it's a bit different. You have to make yourself a tempered glass jar. What I want to do is I want to light this campfire here so we can start using it to cook, which means I will need flint. To start, I'm going to make myself an iron hammer, which will allow me to turn cobblestone into gravel. Now this is very common with skyblocks, nothing special here. With a flint and steel, perfect. And this will allow me to cook some glass. And to get some glass, we'll just hammer down this stuff. Huh? Wait a minute, that's not normal. Wait, what? Oh, okay, so you just hammer down dirt to get sand. Interesting. So it goes cobble, dirt, sand in this pack. But yeah, you can just compress the blocks and get yourself a bunch of sand that way. New to me, at least. And I will throw just 8 sand in there real quick. While that's cooking, I'm going to throw some iron on here to get some wrought iron. Now, I'm not sure exactly what all of cast iron is actually used for. Oh, it allows you to automate jars later on. And to make cast iron gears, which aren't used for anything specifically. Wait, what was that? Wait, I just saw something very unique. Okay, wait, I just saw something when I was doing that. I'm sorry. Reductive Metalworks. Is this the new Tinkers? I mean, this does look like Tinkers, right? A foundry tap. Interesting. Okay. Wait. Foundry. No. Metalworks? What was it called? Metalworks. Oh. Plate, rods, gearcast. Oh, it doesn't seem to have tools. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, it does. Pickaxe cast. Oh, it's for silent gear. Okay. I'm not a big Silent Gears fan. However, combining Silent Gears with this Productive Metalworks kind of gives you a Tinker's Remnant pack. I'm still a big Tinker's enjoyer, but having a forge is really cool. Oh, we'll definitely get into that later on. However, we did get ourselves some cast iron, and I can go throw my iron back in here. And I believe we need stained glass panes. Yeah, so we need glass panes. Okay, we somehow lost one tempered pane to the confines of the fire. However, I mean, it kind of works out. We do need 7 total. So hopefully we get all 4 of these guys in return. And then we will make ourselves a jar. And I believe all you do is place the jar above the fire. Okay, so I believe all you need to do is place them down. Yeah, okay, so it's 30 seconds with hot temperature. So I might be able to just place it on top. Yeah, okay, perfect. So now we have a hot jar. We can go ahead and place some cobblestone in it, and it'll start crafting cobblestone, or crafting lava, which is a really unique way to do this. And there's so many things you can do in these jars. Such a unique thing. Ah, man, I love the Feed the Beast devs. They always make the coolest mods. Like the coolest, yeah. It's just a reinvention of the wheel. It's not just boring old, you know. It's not boring. It's very unique. So I want to be able to collect this, and it says, without a tank beside it, these jars will clumsily explode the fluids they create into the world as a fluid capsule. So I should be ready to pick this lava up. Unless I can make a tank right now. Oh, they give you a tank. So it should go right into this tank then. Perfect. Okay. So we got ourselves lava, we got ourselves water. Now I can make myself a cobblestone generator. Oh, it requires compressed cobblestone. Well, that's quite unfortunate. Oh, we have just enough. Look at that. And we have 1 glass ready, and now we have a cobblestone generator. And slowly but surely, this thing here will just generate us cobblestone. I will make a barrel, or a drawer, I guess. Go ahead and make myself a drawer. Does this work the other way? Ah, okay, so it's from the bottom. It doesn't go at the top, it goes to the bottom. So now with this cobblestone generator, we're all good to go. And I should be able to upgrade that pretty fast, right? I can make myself a forge hammer from modern industrialization real fast. And if I throw some iron in here, I can get myself some plates, get myself 4 of those. And if we break this, we can instantly make it into an iron one. And that should go much faster. Yeah, it's 8 per tick rather than just 1. So yeah, that's awesome. Oh, it does give you a drawer as a reward. However, we already have our own. And did any of the gold grow? No, it doesn't seem to have. Because I assume the upgrades are the same, yeah. So we just need gold to grow next. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and move this guy over to the gold section real quick. And I'll let this gold start to grow, and we can make it into a gold generator right away as well. And that'll be more than enough cobblestone for the rest of the time. Now, what's really interesting about FGB Skies 2 is its focus on exploration. Normally, you're alone in a skyblock. However, if you remember in the expert version of the mod pack we played, there's some sky villages out there and some other things, and you want to go explore them because they have loot to be gotten. Now, if you're up to date with Minecraft, you know there's a little guy called the Dried Ghast that you can turn into your own friendly ghast and ride around on a saddle. Now, you might be thinking, well, this is version 1.20, so the Dried Ghast isn't out yet. However, they've gone ahead and added the Dried Ghast in a mod called Ghast Update, which is really fun. So what you can do is, if you go ahead in this quest book here, you can go ahead and purchase a Dried Ghast. And that's the next thing I want to go ahead and show you. So I haven't claimed many quests. I do have 5 coins on me at the moment. However, if I go ahead and claim all of the quests, I now have 33 of them. And I can just go ahead and right click those and they will be added to my purse. And it gave us some copper chests, which is actually really useful. So you can go ahead and pick all this stuff up and we're good to go on that front. If we go into the quest book, the FTB shop is just at the top here. We just have to turn over 1 silver coin and we get a gold coin in return, and now we have the entire shop at our disposal. So 3 silver coins will allow you to buy a Dried Ghast. So if we go into our inventory here, we can take the 3 silver coins, submit them, and get ourselves a Dried Ghast. Now these work very similarly to how they actually work in the update. You place the little guy underground, submerged, and slowly but surely he will turn into a regular Happy Ghast. And as the quest book says, we can actually get some snowball seeds. So if I come over to the grass here, and with some luck, we might be able to get ourselves some snowball seeds. So far, we've gotten everything but. Okay, we were supremely unlucky. We got everything but a snowball seed. Okay, well, I can use these to compost at least. Okay, let me just get myself some bone meal. Okay, we got aubergine seeds. Can I get some more? Okay, our little gasling's all grown up. However, we do need some snowballs to feed it. And I don't quite have the luck of getting snowballs. We got mandrake, not very useful. Ah, there we go. Wait, is that snowball seed? No, that was a Lily of the Valley. Ah, there's the snowball seed. Only took a while. However, now with the snowball seed, I can go ahead and Icy Needle? The Snowbell. Yeah, wait, what? Oh, there we go. Wow, okay, so it's a very low chance to actually get them. That's quite annoying, however. And we just wasted our snowball. Nice. That's great fun. Okay, that should be enough snowballs, I believe. So if we take our ghast here and give him some snowballs once he comes back down. There we go. So now we're best friends. Oh no. Okay, wait, he's stuck here. Okay, now we have ourselves a ghast to ride. And you're not quite on the edge like you are normally with the new ghast update. However, we do have a method of flight. And I believe he should stay stationary. He shouldn't move unless we tell him to. How do I get down from here? It's not quite as functional as the ghasts in the new Minecraft update. However, he should stay stationary there, and that will allow us to travel the skies. Okay, we have our little ghast friend acquired. Little happy guy, just chilling in the air. We can ride him to the infinity skies beyond. However, we're going to save that for the next episode. I just wanted to introduce the pack, get a little head start, and prepare for what I wanted to do next episode, which will be exploring the skies. We're going to go off and venture. The ghast is quite slow, unfortunately, so it will take us some time, but you guys won't have to endure that. That'll be for me. However, we're going to go explore the skies, collect all the loot possible, come back to our island with our happy little friend, and get started on progressing through this pack. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to stay up to date with any new episodes, hit that subscribe button. If you like this episode, leave a like and drop a comment if there's anything you know about this pack that you'd like to see me do, or if there's any questions you have about the pack, I'll try my best to answer them. But for now, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!